Pænt her.
Hej far.
Hej T.
While it sucks that we now live in a world where bloated AAA games are forced down our throats constantly and they are completely bankrupt on ideas, it's always refreshing to see an indie developer attempt something entirely out of left field. Cosmic Top Secret is one of those games. Hello everybody and welcome to I Dream of Indie. My name's Ole Gamer Joe, and yes, we are reviewing a Cosmic Top Secret on the Nintendo Switch from developer Class Film and Those Eyes. Now, if you've only seen the trailer for Cosmic Top Secret, you might be thinking this game is some kind of an elaborate joke, or it's just a snooty art game of some kind, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The cardboard aesthetic here, along with the bizarre puppet-like animations, are an interesting choice, yes, but this is a game that's actually full of some rich history, some really engaging characters, and there's plenty of unforgettable moments throughout it as well. So Cosmic Top Secret is based on real-life events and audio recordings too, which I found really fascinating, and the story revolves around lead character T's mother and father. A lifetime clause that they've signed prevents them from talking about events which occurred during the Cold War. We know that T's parents were spies, but it's up to the player to unravel the rest of this mystery by themselves. I really enjoyed the storytelling here, but I think that the best part about it is that T's parents are actually alive. You get so many redemption stories where the parents have been murdered or something along those lines. They are here in this story, but they're just sort of stuck not being able to say much. Another element that really helps to strengthen the overall writing in this game is the fact that the developer is able to use real-life video and audio. This really brings the vision together in a wondrous way. And the fact that it's based on real-life events, well, it's just at times shocking and jaw-dropping. So alright, the storytelling is bold and exciting, but how enjoyable is Cosmic Top Secret in terms of gameplay? Well, it's something, that's for sure. The game is broken up into 6 different chapters, which take a little over an hour or so to complete. You're looking at about a 7-hour game here in total, somewhere around there. But most of these levels follow the same basic formula. You have a brief story introduction, and then you're set free to explore a somewhat open area. Here you'll have access to a map, with the goal being to collect as many clues or dossiers as possible in order to advance the story. The way that you travel around these open areas does take a little getting used to be honest, as T quite literally can turn into a crumpled ball of paper, and she can shoot across the screen pretty quickly depending on how much pressure you're applying to the analog stick. You can also jump, which has insane physics of its own, and you can leave smoke bombs, which basically work as markers on your map. They help you to not get so lost. I almost want to say that Cosmic Top Secret feels a little bit like a Katamari game, but instead of absorbing objects to grow larger, you're inhaling knowledge. It's going to typically take you 9 pieces of information to advance to the next area, but before you do, you'll have to enter coded numbers that are available within the files that you've gathered. Sometimes finding those numbers involves a clever little puzzle, but fear not, Cosmic Top Secret is not what I would call a difficult game outside of its complex narrative. If you just wanted to follow the story beats of this game, you could do that pretty easily and get through the game quickly, but you would be denying yourself a lot of the great information that's out there. In fact, exploring these worlds is well recommended. There's a lot of hidden items about these areas, and you'll just have to roll about and find it all to piece more and more of the story together. Some of it is optional, but again, I advise you try to get every little thing you can out of this game because the story is such an integral part of it. While it is really nice to be able to collect all of the information, I do wish it felt a little better while you were doing it. Yeah, I would say the weakest element of Cosmic Top Secret shows up when you're actually controlling T and rolling about these areas. Personally, I just found that it didn't feel all that great. It was a little bit sensitive. Making jumps could at times be frustrating because, again, the physics just feel crazy on the jumping. The wonky controls aren't a deal breaker, though, just based on the fact that this game doesn't always require them to be that precise. But during the few moments where it does, you can expect a bit of frustration. Overall, though, it is, again, not the end of the world just because of the way this game is set up. It's worth noting that you can actually use some touch controls as well if you're playing the game undocked, which in the brief time I did test the game undocked, it seemed to perform just fine. You're kind of waving your finger around to make T roll. I didn't really like it myself, but hey, it's an option. Graphically, I know that I touched on this just a little bit earlier, but wow, what a strange looking title. Everything's made out of cardboard, at least that's the illusion that you have here. I honestly don't know what the artists were thinking, but the game can almost look like a nightmare at times. The bulging, scary eyes of characters, the unsettling animations, and the crude 3D backgrounds strangely blend together to create a presentation that I kinda liked. I think it's more the fact that literally no game I've played looks like this one, and there is something poetic about that. I certainly wouldn't want this to be the art of every game ever, and I hope it doesn't become a trend, but for what it's worth, I did kind of dig it. Alongside the bizarre art are these wonderful moments of full motion video. They can be pretty emotional, and they add an extra layer of polish to this unusual but intriguing looking product. As far as the musical score is concerned, it's also a bit of an odd duck, and I can't say it was particularly memorable, but the Danish voice acting again does deliver and adds a level of authenticity to this game. So yeah, I like the game's presentation, but you have to be a bit open-minded and go in with a understanding that it's something a little bit out of left field, it's kind of crazy, but hey, that's okay. That's why we love indie games, right? The willingness to try new things. Well, if you happen to be a fan of history, you enjoy interesting art, and you're looking for something a bit different out of a video game these days, I'd say give Cosmic Top Secret a spin. This is not a product for everyone. Let me say that again. This game is not for everyone, and I do feel like it will be a bit divisive amongst players. Some may say that it's pretentious nonsense. Perhaps others will write it off for its unusual aesthetic. But the further I explored its bizarre worlds and unraveled its mysteries, the greater of an appreciation I grew for its storytelling. This is not the most refined gameplay experience you're going to find out there. There aren't very many video games like this. Some of you might be bored with the gameplay if you're not invested in the story. And hey, that's okay. But for me, Cosmic Top Secret is more about delivering a message, and I think a pretty important one. Thank you so much for watching the latest video from I Dream of Indie. We would now like to take a moment to thank our great indie warriors who support this channel through channel memberships. Mitchell Hall, Kevalo, Bunny, Bill Tikaz, Christian Cruz, Strick9, Rosie Syntax, Chris Jackson, Nathan Moore, Peach, Adriana Amato, CJR, Jesse, Falco Lombardi, C-Coil, and Skeptism. Thank you for everything you do for independent games, developers, publishers, and for I Dream of Indie. Everybody else, head down to the description box and learn how to fight the echo chamber and bring a voice back to the voiceless ones in gaming, and head on over to idreamofindie.com.